They were continuing to read The Brothers Karamazov. "I am Alexei Karamazov," Alyosha began in reply. "I quite understand that, sir," the gentleman snapped out at once to assure him that he knew who he was already. "I am Captain Snegiryov, sir. But I am still desirous to know precisely what has led you. Oh, I've come for nothing special. I wanted to have a word with you, if only you allow me." "In that case, here is a chair, sir. Kindly be seated." That's what they used to say in the old comedies. "Kindly be seated." And with a rapid gesture, he seized an empty chair. It was a rough wooden chair, not upholstered, and set it for him almost in the middle of the room. Then, taking another similar chair for himself, he sat down facing Alyosha, so close to him that their knees almost touched. "Nikolai Ilyich Snegiryov, sir, formerly a captain in the Russian infantry, put to shame for his vices, but still a captain, though I might not be one now, for the way I talk. For the last half of my life, I've learned to say sir. It's a word you use when you've come down in the world." "That's very true," smiled Alyosha. "But is it used involuntarily or on purpose?" "As God's above, it's involuntary, and I usen't to use it. I didn't use the word sir all my life, but as soon as I sank into low water, I began to say sir. It's the work of a higher power. I see you're interested in contemporary questions, but how can I have excited your curiosity, living as I do in surroundings impossible for the exercise of hospitality? I've come about that business." "About what business?" the captain interrupted impatiently. "About your meeting with my brother, Dmitri Fyodorovitch," Alyosha blurted out awkwardly. "What meeting, sir? You don't mean that meeting? About my wisp of tow, then?" He moved closer so that his knees positively knocked against Alyosha. His hips were strangely compressed, like a thread. "What wisp of tow?" muttered Alyosha. "He has come to complain of me, father," cried a voice familiar to Alyosha, the voice of the schoolboy, from behind the curtain. "I bit his finger just now." The curtain was pulled, and Alyosha saw his assailant lying on a little bed made up on the bench and the chair in the corner under the icons. The boy lay uncovered by his coat and an old wadded quilt. He was evidently unwell, and judging by his glittering eyes, he was in a fever. He looked at Alyosha without fear, as though he felt he was at home and could not be touched. "What, did he bite your finger?" The captain jumped up from his chair. "Was it your finger he bit?" "Yes, he was throwing stones with other schoolboys. There were 6 of them against him alone. I went up to him, and he threw a stone at me, and then another at my head. I asked him what I had done to him, and then he rushed at me, and bit my finger badly. I don't know why. I'll thrash him, sir, at once, this minute." The captain jumped up from his seat. "But I am not complaining at all. I am simply telling you. I don't want him to be thrashed. Besides, he seems to be ill." "And do you suppose I'd thrash him? That I'd take my Ilusha and thrash him before you for your satisfaction? Would you like it done at once, sir?" said the captain, suddenly turning to Alyosha, as though he were going to attack him. "I am sorry about your finger, sir, but instead of thrashing Ilusha, would you like me to chop off my 4 fingers with this knife here before your eyes to satisfy your just wrath? I should think 4 fingers would be enough to satisfy your thirst for vengeance. You won't ask for the 5th one, too?" He stopped short, with a catch in his throat. Every feature in his face was twitching and working. He looked extremely defiant. He was in a sort of frenzy. And that's the end of the reading for today. Have a good day.